And with that, welcome to another edition of the Tom Greene Show. This is week 10 in the NFL season. I can't believe how fast time has flown so far this season. Am I right?
Oh man, it's going by pretty fast this season.
And with that, once again, let's welcome the Goonie Draft to the show. Welcome back, Cole.
Thanks for having me.
This is your fourth week on this show?
Fifth, I believe.
Fifth week. See, even time's flying too fast. And this guy over here, you guys probably don't know him, but I do. One of my coworkers. Please welcome Mr. Mike Razdorf, a.k.a. Razz.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, pleasure to be on the show this time. Yes. So, with that, why don't we just dive into it? We don't have much to say. So, the Thursday night game this week, the Minnesota Vikings, who their quarterback position is a huge question mark. And yes, he did make a good, he was a good singer singing 96 Tears, if you ever hear that, question mark. Against the Washington Redskins, or Redskin Potatoes, or I don't know, whatever they're going to change their name to if they do. But anyway, Minnesota against Washington.
All right, so you have a Washington team coming in this week with, again, a little bit of struggles going through so far this season, but at least they are still in the division hunt, only, I believe, 2 games behind Dallas right now. And RG3 is starting to pick things up, and the entire offense is trying to pick some things up right now. Then you have a Minnesota team who, I thought it didn't look that bad as Ponder as their quarterback last week, and I still believe Ponder should be the starting quarterback for that team. And
ESPN analyst Sam Ponder is going to agree with you there.
Yeah, he will. Of course, he's better at least. But in this one, I'm going to go with Washington because I think they do have a better team, and I'm going to go 24-17.
And Razz, why don't the world hear your voice to start off with?
I agree with you. Ponder should be the starting quarterback, but Adrian Peterson's going to score 2 touchdowns, and they're going to lose 28-14. Blake Griffin. RG3 has just been too much.
Believe it or not, I do believe that Matt Castle should be their quarterback. Why is that? Because he, I think, was a step ahead. I think. Now, Ponder's not bad, but Castle has their win. But is Castle hurt?
I don't believe he is. I think he's still okay.
If he's okay, then maybe they should throw in Castle this week. If you're the Vikings, you're 1-7. Am I correct?
Yep.
You're 1-7 and you got nothing to lose. So why not this week start Castle? Because you know Josh Freeman is only good for the meme with the Michael Jackson photo. So that's my thought about their quarterback situation. I do think Washington wins this game because RG3 is starting to tear it up a little bit, and just like last season, the Redskins really fired up in the second half, and I think this is true for this in this case. The Skins win 27-17. And now to our Sunday games. The Battle of the Birds, as you say, or Angry Birds, playoff edition last season. Atlanta against Seattle.
Well, for an 8-1 Seattle team, last week they looked like they were 0-8 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the way they started. In Seattle, Tampa Bay was up 24-0, which I thought my TV was broken and I seen that. And Seattle did come back.
Here.
Seattle did come back in that one, surprisingly, I didn't think they would, and won the game in overtime. But that kind of scared me about the Seattle team going into this week. But again, this week they play another struggling team, and that is the Atlanta Falcons, who they still have Matt Ryan, but he's having a struggling season, missing 2 of his wide receivers, and Reggie White, who's going to be out again this week, and Julio Jones.
Rodney White.
Rodney White, that's it.
Reggie White was a Packers wide receiver, I think passed away.
Yeah, he's...
Defensive end, huh?
Yeah.
Defensive end, thank you.
And Julio Jones is out as well. But, and with those 2 out, I feel like this Atlanta team cannot do anything because their offense and defense are just playing horrible right now. And I got to give Seattle the win here, 31-13.
Razz?
Well, yeah, Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons are very, very bad this year. I don't know why they're losing it so bad, but Seattle did have a close game last week. Couldn't find it on offense, but I think they'll pull it out. 42-17, Seattle wins.
Alrighty. For my Atlanta fans out there, whenever this fires up here. I'll just start with my predictions anyway. Seattle had a less than impressive game last week. Very unimpressive against Tampa Bay. It was almost an embarrassment to the Seattle Seahawks that they damn near lost to the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are looking god awful as it
Mission
is.
at home as well for Steve.
Yes.
12th man.
Yeah, that was rough.
But I think here we go.
What is this?
So recent commercial.
Oh. Good move, Sam.
Anyway, I had to do the little Julio Jones dance right there for my Atlanta fans out there. But anyway, believe it or not, I'm going to go with the upset here and pick the Atlanta Falcons. Why? Because the last 2 weeks, Seattle has looked less than impressive. And this game is on the road, so the 12th man won't be there. And I think Matt Ryan shows up, so does Tony Gonzalez. Atlanta wins this game 17-10. That I will say is my big upset of the week.
Yeah.
17-10
That's pretty bold.
Atlanta. I think it's going to happen.
All right,
Who knows?
we'll see.
But anyway, enough with the dance, the Julio. Pittsburgh against Buffalo.
Well, Pittsburgh in this one, they're still trying to find themselves after a huge loss last week to New England. Their offense actually looked good. It's just the defense who got lit up by the Pats' offense. And Ben Roethlisberger is looking better, and so is Bell, helping that team out on offense. But defense under Woodley and them, they're still trying to find something going here in a 2-6 season for them. Buffalo now, they're finally starting to get their rookie starting quarterback, E.J. Manuel, back this week. So I believe that is going to help this offense and maybe get something going for them, as they were in a close game last week. I believe they lost that one. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago. I can't really remember off my top of my head, but
I know time flies.
yeah. I think last week they had Kansas City and almost won that one actually.
Yes.
Against Kansas City. And then the week before that they played, I want to
I think they
say
beat
Miami. It was
Miami.
Miami, and they did win that game against Miami. Okay.
Yes, we did.
But in this one, since Pittsburgh is at home, and I feel like Manuel has some struggles coming back after the injury, I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh here. I'm going to have a 23-10 win for them.
Razz?
I agree with Pittsburgh beating Buffalo 21-17. E.J. Manuel look out of whack. I don't know. He just had.
That was Jeff Toole last week.
Yeah, they went through so many quarterbacks already. But yeah, the Pittsburgh offense did look good.
Believe it or not, this show is not as creepy as last week's show was. Because, believe it or not, this week, I picked Buffalo. Because the last few weeks I've been ranting about how Dick LeBeau is superhuman and he might be on his last legs. Who knows? With that, the defense that showed up last week against New England. Woohoo! But anyway, if Pittsburgh turns around their season, it starts this week. But this is another one of those games where I'm going to have to say, Pittsburgh, prove me wrong. Buffalo wins this game 23-20. Last second, E.J. Manuel to Stevie Johnson, and then Stevie Johnson's going to be flashing like this. Why so serious? Like he did 2 years ago on Halloween. But I think Buffalo wins this game 23-20. Another one of those tough picks, I must say. But anyway, with that, segment 2 is coming up next.